Ah, we're on. This is on like Tron. I'm going to play the recording once we get some subscribers landing in. They were wonky Bob. Don't like that. Un momento. I'll play the recording of the telephone chat I just had. Let me just check a few things and we're off. Where are you, scribes? Where is the tribe? Where is the scribe tribe? We are live, Indigo. Okay then. I'll pause the play till we get some scribes land, and then it's not starting halfway through. It's only 5 minutes and 19. It's not the longest of admissions. A little bit wonky. Sovereign HD. First things first, let's recharge. Get yourself some popcorn, some snacks, some entertainment for you coming right up. Hello there, alright. I'll see you in a minute. Yes, I'm aware of all the data and what's happening here. Thank you, Aid, for your text. The registration of the horse is the last of my concerns at this moment in time. The last of my concerns. Let's get the let's go up to play. Still no scribes. No one's getting notifications. Here we go.
My charge is to deliver it. If you don't take it, they will accept it. And give
Please note that all telephone calls are recorded for quality, audit and training purposes. Your data is managed in full compliance with the Data Protection Act.
It's hilarious.
If your inquiries regarding a penalty charge notice, please press 1. To report an illegally parked or untaxed vehicle, please press 2. For disabled blue badges, press 3. To report a faulty pay and display machine or abandoned vehicle, press 4. For parking permits, press 5. Finally, for general parking or inquiries, please stay on the line to be connected to a member of the team.
Parking services, Sarah speaking. How can I help?
Hello, good afternoon, Sarah. My name is David. I'm currently in Derby, East Staffordshire Borough Council office. It's regarding a p.c.n. that's been affixed to a trust vehicle. I'd like to speak to somebody about that immediately, please.
Okay, well, if you wanted to challenge it, you'd have to put something in writing.
No, I'd like to return it, that's all. This call's being recorded, by the way, for legal and training purposes and for my protection. The automobile that's had the penalty charge p.c.n. issued against it is trust property. I don't want to be funny here, but I don't contract and I don't consent. It's not my vehicle.
Once a penalty has been issued, any challenge has to be in writing. So there's nothing we can do over the telephone.
I don't contract and I don't consent.
It isn't a contract,
okay,
and it isn't about your consent. If a vehicle has incurred a penalty...
I'll be recorded, by the way, so carry on. Yeah, I'm just...
That's okay.
Yeah, carry on. Okay, yeah.
If a penalty has been incurred and issued to a vehicle, the only way to dispute it or to put any points forward that you think are relevant is to put them in writing to us. So all the instructions are on the back of the notice. You can either email us or you can send a letter through the post, but there isn't anything that we can do over the telephone.
Oh, okay then. And just to clarify then, are you quoting law, statute, act or policy there, please?
That's the law.
That's the law. And this Westminster Law Statute and Act that is governable by consent of Theresa May. And we are policed and governed by consent. Theresa May said that 3 years ago. I have the video recording, so that's why I asked you where you're coming from, the law, okay? I'm a paralegal, I'm a trustee, and I'm confused now because you've just made an admission and a claim. You told me who you are, and I have your number. I would like to get this discharged immediately and forthwith.
It won't be. As I say, if you want to write into us, that's fine.
You've just told me some untruths there, and you're governable by legislation, and you are going to be reported by myself for damages there. I'm going to leave this ticket at the desk here then, and this is East Staffordshire Borough Council. I'd like you to take the reference number of Golf Echo 0857. I'll wait for you to catch up there, my love, because this is lawful important. It's crucial that we do this. Agent for the
what's the penalty number? GE. I'll make a note on, and I'll make it clear that I've advised you to write into us, because if you don't, we'll contact the DVLA. We will be advised of who the register keeper of the vehicle is, and we'll write out to the register keeper.
Yes, right. It's a trust vehicle and property. It's not public. It's private. If anything happens to this, and I will be recording, making a transcript and getting in touch with you directly to the head office there, to your chief executive officer, and appointing him my trustee over all of this and asking him to discharge it. So before you go with your legal charges and claims and assumptions and presumptions, you have the beneficiary on the line, David, not my property. It's private automobile. You do not have authority.
It's a vehicle that's driving on the public road.
Please don't interrupt
and
me.
It's registered with DVLA.
You've been very rude to interrupt me there. I do comment, but I'll continue on. I'm instructing you as my agent to inform. No, notice to agent is notice to principal. Notice to principal is notice to agent.
You're misinformed.
Okay, no, I'm not misinformed. I'm an actual paralegal, and I have a .com website, and I make magistrates run out of courtrooms for civil issues and infractions of rights, you know, for fun. So that's by the by. I'm misinformed. That's your angle. On the notes, please. No contract and no consent must be put. Yeah. And I am the grantor, Grantor, and beneficiary, David, of the family, Jeremita.
Yeah.
And thank you very much.
You perhaps need to seek some other legal advice, but I'll leave it with you.
I'll be pursuing damages if you pursue
all right then.
There, okay? And you've been legally noted, and so is the executive officer.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much, Leo.
Wow. So, what do we take from the east? From the Staffordshire, let's get it right, representative and agent there. Hello, what do you want? You must go and follow the p.c.n. appeal process. And I've pointed out, for man to appeal, or for any of you to consider appealing, we would say repeal. We would also say, in law, for man to appeal, man must be judged. A judgment must be made. A judgmentship should have been, performed there. It hasn't been. And so we've got the pompous, stuck-up voice there. She interrupted me. I did apologise. I was courteous. I never give anybody any grief like that. I'm always, as sovereign as I can be in my deeds and executions of them. And it wasn't 3 years ago. Theresa May, police said that. Let's get it.
Anybody who's been involved in this,
come on.
If anybody in their family has been involved, if people are listening and or somebody who's been out on those streets, then tell the police, because we need to ensure that people see there's a consequence of these actions.
Right. It's being suggested in some quarters one way to take control of the streets pretty quickly is either to use water cannon or to get the army on the streets.
No, the way we police in the UK, the way we police is by consent. We want police able to work with their communities to ensure that they can deal with the consequence of these actions.
Right. It's being suggested in some
let's go again.
To take control of the streets pretty quickly is either to use water cannon or to get the army on the streets.
No, the way we police in the UK, the way we police is by consent. We want police able to work with their communities to ensure that they can deal with the disorder that is taking place, which, as I say, is totally unacceptable. This is about criminality, and it's about the police being able.
That's before she went grey, so it's longer than 3 years ago, and looking like she is now. That was issued on 14, published on 30th of November 14. We're now in 19. So yeah, I'd say it might be about 5 or 7. I was estimating that was reference police by consent due to the riots that were going off, I think, in and around. I can't remember specifically why Theresa May was interviewed by the BBC there. For the crux of the argument is, you've just heard my recording of the lady Sarah, agent for local arm of the government, has told me that it's law. She's made an admission. She's in a public office. She's got a duty and an obligation. She didn't want to facilitate. She was obstropulous, wow, stuck up, arrogant, rude, and proceeded to tell me law which isn't law. I exhibit, we're on video 3, so in consent. This is a civil matter. I've left the ticket on the desk. The lady there at the desk was brilliant, very humble, and she was very professional. She gave me a 0845 number that was chargeable. I nearly had to stop somewhere in the city, see the thumbnail for cities. I nearly had to stop in the city centre and pay again to put my iron horse somewhere whilst it was stopped, to be legally stopped there or parked, so we don't get another civil officer, civil law. Okay, we're masters at the civil now, and you get another civil officer affixing another adhesion contract to private property whilst I'm there trying to sort one out. It's a bit, you know, it happens. Won't be the first time man had got a ticket whilst going to sort out a ticket. So fees on the telephone, disrespectful agents, and being told law and admission by the, I'm sorry, but Staffordshire. Yeah, so I'm in the East Staffordshire area where the issuing officer is, and it's been issued by Staffordshire, but East Staffordshire is in Burton-on-Trent, but East Staffordshire don't want to know about Staffordshire. Well, I made it simple. I gave the lady on the phone there from the 0845 number in Staffordshire the relevant instructions, wishes and requirements from her. She disclaimed her duties and she proceeded to tell me point blank lies. Now, for real lawyers and solicitors and members of the bar, we can't tell lies, can we? Not in a public office, not when you're licensed from the bar as barristers. Solicitors, you can't tell a lie, but you claim plausible deniability and such smart-ass comments as. So let's proclaim it, let's get it out there, stop folding the arms. I'm quite happy about this. Nothing will be happening, that will not be getting paid, there is no honour, there is no contract. You saw the island where it was not on double yellows. It may have been a restricted area for the council, but it isn't for me. The whole realm is ours. We are the tribes, you are the scribes of the tribes, and yeah, we do not consent. We will argue and fight civil issues tooth and nail. No man shall be imprisoned for... we got issues, right? I need to go then. I've got to crack on. I have more calls to make and busyness and things to do. AD, thank you very much for your contacts there. I don't really give a rat's ass anymore. I'm past the point of... Right, Greg, I've spoke to you. I'm going to look at emails later. I'll speak to a guy called David, Ben, Marcus, and David, Ben, Marcus, maybe somebody else there. Albanzi. Right then, so peace and love. The fight goes on. Ciao, bello. Back later.